All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you guys saw the last video when I talked about what I got to move to E85. So the Fore dual pump system, level 2 is the one I got. Also got, I know they're in a FIC box. No one caught this. They were in a FIC box, but they're ID 1050X injectors. I was surprised nobody caught me on that on the unboxing video. So I got the injectors we got to put in. We got the fuel rails. That came with the fuel kit. We're gonna go ahead and put in the new plugs as well. And I went with Brisk. All right, here. So Brisk, and they are the ER15YS. And therefore the 5.7, the 6.4, the 6.2, and these are basically a direct replacement. From what I read, they're a direct replacement for the Hellcat spark plugs. So they're just as cold as those. So stay tuned, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the plugs. Mike's back there doing his thing. He's got the camera on him the whole time, and I will try and split this up, get this done, and hopefully get Shake and Bake back on the road. All right, folks. we snuck into Mike's bay to get some videos of what he's doing with the fuel pumps, the power, the cords, the cables, the hoses, everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you guys in with him, and then we'll narrate later. So keep on watching, folks. Cool. All right, just so you know, folks, we had to do some electrical finagling to make this work. I don't have time to be sending shit back and forth, though I probably should, but I don't. So we had to do some cutting and splicing. So that's what he's doing now.
So that way, because I mean, your feed and your return on this side now compared to this side.
I got you.
So
yeah, I got the full return system. I know y'all heard me say that probably 5 times on the last video, but this is the install video, so I'm saying it again.
There you go. Make this a little easier.
All right, so he's doing his thing. We're gonna divide and conquer because I'm putting in new spark plugs and the new fan. So I'm gonna go grab the other camera, start on the spark plugs while he finishes this up here. And you know the deal. Holler if you need me.
Oh yeah.
If you need another set of hands.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I will. What's that?
I say your phone's blowing up.
Oh yeah, no.
What are those, 8?
They're
right down the road.
Yeah, I mean, I can get it set up, running, you know, looking as best we can with what we got, and then, you know, we'll go from there.
And wherever you think the best place to run the filter to.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because I know he ran his in his fender liner.
He did.
But at the same time, he also had all them 90s, and we don't. So I was thinking that maybe it might be best if we run it out that way and then lay it up actually under the car, but along the frame rail, because it'll also make it easier for you to change it and clean it if you need to.
Sounds good.
Instead of having to go through the fender liner.
I'm down with it.
All right. Works.
You know where I'm coming, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. That's it, yeah, I know. That's it.
Hey Mike, time to change the filter.
That's it, man. Clean it out.
Alright everyone. I'm gonna try and talk over the loud noise Mike's making over here. But what we're trying to do, what he's trying to do is put the relay in behind the rear
carpet area.
The rear carpet area.
Yeah.
so you can't see it. Some people put it down underneath here. They put it underneath their spare tire. I know wide body Mopar Mike, he put his down underneath his spare tire. But we're gonna go with trying to hide it back behind this carpeting in the trunk. So just something, you know, something you need to take into account, you know, where you want to put your relay and what you want to do with it. We just happen to want to put it right there. So you may want to put it under your spare tire. You may want to put it under the other side. It's just got to be somewhere near the battery, because you got to hook into that power source. So that's what mine's going to look like. And we'll get back to Mike doing his thing. All right, folks, I know a lot of you guys know what you're doing, but what we got to do is we got to get in here, remove the 4 coil packs, along with my shady oil catch can. We're gonna pull these 4 out, go in, we're gonna swap out the 8 freaking spark plugs on this side, and we're gonna turn around and do the other 8 on the other side. But the problem with this side is, and Mike's gonna love me for it, is you really can't see it right now, but down behind here, right down in here, is the second screw. It's literally underneath the Pro Charger, so we're actually gonna have to remove the Pro Charger to get that last nut off of there, to get the coil pack off. But what we're gonna do to make that easier in the future is probably not put that bolt back in there. But we'll talk about that, see if that's the right thing to do or a wrong thing to do. But we'll figure that out. So I'm gonna get started on changing the plugs. I'm not gonna video changing the plugs. I think everybody knows how to do that. It's fairly simple. Pull the coil pack, stick your socket wrench down in there, pull the plug out, put the other plug in. I'm gonna leave them gapped where they're at, and we'll go from there. So stay tuned, folks, more stuff coming. All right, folks, one thing you want to make sure you do is definitely gap your plugs. Make sure they're all gapped the same. I'm gapping mine at 28 right now, so you just got to make sure they're all the same. So get yourself a gap tool, whether it's one of these coin looking ones from AutoZone, you got the paddle ones, whatever you want to call them. Make sure you got some kind of gap tool. Make sure your plugs are gapped all the same, at the same width. All right, so key, make sure they're all gapped the same. Mike's still working on the fuel pumps back there, so we'll get back to it. All right, so for you guys running Boostain, hopefully y'all can see this. You see how the top of that is orange, and then around the ceramic is all orange? That's what happens when you run Boostain, folks. And I haven't ran Boostain for a while. Since I Pro Charged, I haven't run Boostain. Well, I ran a little bit of Boostain at one time, but not a lot. So, and I changed the plugs out when I did the Pro Charger. So yeah, so be prepared. If you change your plugs after Boostain, they are going to be orange, and that's normal. It's just because of the stuff they use in Boostain, it just burns orange. So don't be surprised. And literally your pistons, all that stuff are going to have that red tint to them. So don't be surprised if you open up your engine and your stuff's orange. Just wanted to throw that out there. All right, folks, we're back for day 2 of the install. So you've seen everything Mike had ran, except for one return line, which is, no, actually a feed line, right?
Yep, that one here.
So the feed line from here back over to the regulator over there. So just to be a pain in the ass, Pro Charger just happened to be big enough to cover up this screw for the coil pack. Losing my mind right now. Losing my mind. So yep, so they're already pre-gapped. Brisk plugs, the Brisk 7 to 800 horsepower plugs, and I gapped them to 28. So Mike's putting those back in. So if you notice, we had to take the Pro Charger off the bracket so we could get it out of the way, so we cannot put that screw back in. That one's staying out. So the next time I have to change plugs, I don't have to worry about the Pro Charger. So once we get it in, we'll come right back and we'll look to start it up. So after looking at literally taking off the Pro Charger, they look pretty simple. I mean, all you gotta do is, you know, yank the tensioner, pull the belt off, do a couple screws over here, and you know, I thought it was gonna be pretty hard, but you know, to me, almost looks like I could have done it.
That's it.
So what do you say, Mike?
Take it to the professionals, man.
He's like, no, Don, this is hard.
Yeah.
I just make it look easy.
Exactly.
Mike the mechanic, he says, no, Don, it's hard. I just make it look easy. So that's the kind of mechanic you look for. The one that can make hard shit look easy. All right, folks, back to it. All right, folks, here we go again, right? So I'm like, hey, Mike, you sure this one's tight? Because there's a gap in there. Dawn, leave it to the professionals. I know what I'm doing. Stay out of my business. Go back to your computer and play your little computer games, and I'll finish this up. Okay, Mike, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. All right, so he's just loosening it up to put the belt back on. Again, making it look easy, but for Dawn, it would be hard.
That's it, man.
He's got her all flipped back on there. And that'll do it for all 16 plugs. Thank you, Dodge, for charging me an extra $90 for plugs, but is what it is. Actually, it's EPA that made me pay an extra $90. I should charge the EPA $90 for my plugs, because I shouldn't need 16, but Dodge says I do. Well, the EPA says, Dodge, you need to have 16. But I'm not going to get into that argument, because you guys know I'm not a political guy. I stay out of that political business. I don't want to get you know, slaughtered in the comments because any political stuff I put out there, but I did have to buy 16 plugs. That's a fact. Tell him, Mike, 16 plugs, got to do it.
That's it, man.
Mike gets camera shy. But all right, let's get back to it. We're going to start her up here in a second. All right, folks, obviously this isn't the first startup, but this is a startup that I'm gonna wind up backing out and going home with. So go ahead, hit it, Mike. All right, we'll come up here and check the fuel pressure. I don't know if you can see it down there, but it's at just under 60, probably about 58, 59. So, all right, folks, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. You've seen the install, you've seen where everything went, how it all went. Took us 2 days, well, it took Mike 2 days to get it all done, but it's in, running fine. Got the tune, startup tune from Dave, EFI Specialties. We're gonna go down there on Wednesday for another dyno tune. We're gonna dial it in on 93 and also dial it in on E85. So that's the whole reason why we did this, is to move to E85 instead of race gas. So that's gonna do it for this one, folks. I appreciate y'all standing by watching this video. I know it's probably gonna be a long one by the time I get everything together, but you know, at least give you a decent, somewhat decent install video. Again, it's gonna be the big pieces. I'm not gonna put in all you know, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours that we put into it. But I'll get you the big pieces so you know what's going on, where things go, where we ran the lines, and all that. And I appreciate y'all hanging around. So if you're stopping in for the first time, do me those few things. Check out the channel. If you like what's going on, do me those couple things. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, and share it on your social media. Definitely appreciate it. Until next time, folks, adios.